Nobody has shaped my thinking. No one has shaped my life, especially in the areas of cooperation with the Holy Spirit, in the areas of the gifts of the Spirit, in the area of courage for pursuing breakthrough. No one has shaped me more than Randy. Goodness, no one. You know, our quest for revival, our quest for a move of God started so many years ago. And I remember pastoring in Weaverville. I was there for 17 years, and we just got so hungry. And we heard about this outpouring of the Holy Spirit that was happening in Toronto. And we ended up having friends of friends of friends that went there, and they got, the VHS videos, and they would make a copy, and then somebody would make a copy of that one. And by the time they ended up in Weaverville, they were usually pretty grainy events, but we would sit there by the hour and just watch what was happening there. It stirred up such a hunger in us. It's just indescribable what was happening in our hearts. And it was during the time of videos, the grainy videos, that we learned about Randy Clark. He was the one that the Lord used really to light the flame there. And so we would watch him and watch John and Carol and all the others that would come that were such a huge part of that, Larry Randolph and other great men and women of God that were used so powerfully. And we would watch these videos hour after hour after hour. And something actually leapt in my heart. In fact, one of the times watching it, I turned to Benny and said, I want to meet this man. I want to meet this man. And there was such an empowering grace on his life that gave people courage to go after God and to be used powerfully by him. In fact, his famous message is, God can use little old me. And that was really has been the theme of everything that he's done, is equipping and training people. We had a mutual friend, Randy Clark and I had a mutual friend that said to me, he says, you need to meet Randy. And he said, I can arrange it. And so I said, yes, please, by all means. And I really have never done that. I've never been somebody that has to meet a certain person. But this thing just rang so true in my heart. Benny and I flew to St. Louis to be a part of to attend a conference of Randy Clark's at the church that he pastored. And my friend set up an appointment for us. We went in actually between a meal and a meeting. Randy was kind enough to give a stranger 10 minutes of his time. We sat there at the table. He had another meeting just right across the room. And we sat there for maybe 10 minutes. I told him what God was doing in Redding. I told him how we were seeing God heal people every week. That I think we had 8 weeks in a row where we had 7 different people with cancer and or tumors just disappear in the meetings. And Randy was so moved by that, and our hearts literally he just linked our hearts together rather quickly. And Randy said he would come. Now here's a guy who's being invited all over the world, but he said he would come. I think it was like within 6 months from that meeting in St. Louis, Randy came to Redding. We hosted it here at the College View campus. And of course, nobody knew what was coming, but we knew there'd be more of the Lord, and that this man that God had used in Toronto was now coming to Redding. I believe it was 4 nights, and in those 4 nights, we had more miracles and such equipping take place in that room for the saints to do the works of Jesus. It just shaped us. We went from having, great testimonies of miracles every week to it changed during those 4 days. It changed every day. As a result of what Randy released, he carries something in God. He has this thing of favor, the favor of God on his life. And when you favor who God favors, you have access to what they carry. And that's what happened. As we just celebrated the gift, not ever worshiping a man. We're all frail and need the grace of God constantly, but there was an honor in the room for the gift that God brought us. I'm so encouraged and excited for what God's about to do yet again here in Redding. I'm so excited for what I believe God's going to impart to us. I'm so excited for the hungry people that I see here in our church family, in our community, people that are desperate for God. I'm encouraged because I think this next encounter, this next time with Randy, is going to be monumental in the life and the direction of this church. And I really, really bad want to encourage you to make it a priority. Come and join us.